How do you pronounce your name again?
MAIÚ.
You sure?
Yeah.
So I have a different pronunciation. I'm just saying I could be right and you could have been wrong all this time. And it comes from Matthew. You said it's a very old Irish version?
It's borrowed from Matthew.
Nice. Now last time we spoke, we're jumping way back to January 2018, and also in the March of that year you did your solo debut in The Whale with Adele Experience. It seems like forever ago, especially when I see you now that you've grown so much. But for you, I'm guessing this is still the same journey because you've had to wait through lockdown and all the rest to sort of fulfill one of the dreams you've always had, the Eurovision. How was that last week?
Well, it was absolutely, it was fantastic, I have to say. It was such a great experience to have that kind of in a studio, to be in a studio with all the lights and the camera. It's very different to like live theatre, as you would imagine, because you have the feedback from your audience and everything, whereas it's much more stop and go with all the cameras.
Well, another great Greystones teenager is Casey Rock, and she won her sort of her elite championship there, and she's off to the World Championships last Saturday. And for her being not able to be in the ring for the whole of the lockdown was very frustrating. I don't know, for you not being able to get out there and do anything. I don't know whether you were just at home and practicing, or whether you had to take a break from it all. Or
yeah, I felt it was hard, but I think it I benefited from it as well, because I had that time on my hands to be able to, you know, kind of delve into things that I wouldn't normally do because I'd be so busy without COVID. Sit down at the piano and, you know, maybe have a look at that.
Right. Now we should say that it is back in 2019 that you originally auditioned for the Eurovision and you got in, but then COVID came along. How did you feel then? Was there a kind of, I don't know whether you felt like, I obviously disappointed, but it must have been surreal that you're that close to doing one of those great gigs. And
yeah, it was pretty crazy, I have to say. Like I said, to be that close to it, especially after getting the call back for it, and then kind of so excited to go on to the next step, you know, and then for it to be shut down with the COVID was disappointing.
The Eurovision has that great dual thing where it's obviously adored by millions, but then others see it as a sort of, like, you know, kind of ridiculous, sort of over the top sort of show, especially in the last 10 years or more. I mean, have you always had an affection for it? Do you see it as a lot of fun, or do you see it as a great stepping stone?
Personally, I love it.
Right.
I think it's great fun, and it's nice that I think it's just one of those things where in my house it's one of those things where you sit around and you watch the Eurovision and you get out your scorecards and, you know, you do them up and give your points and all this. So it's kind of a bit of an event in our house. So
and what's going on with Ireland? Because we were like the supreme gods of the Eurovision, and now we've taken a Father Ted turn where we seem to nosedive maybe it's a money saving device, but we just seem to have been locked out of that winning kind of winner's circle. Have you, I don't know whether you'd be thinking in those terms that, oh, you know, this is why they're going to vote this way, and
well, I'm not too sure.
It does seem, well, obviously there's sort of blocks of people who vote for each other and all that, but we did seem to own the Eurovision for so long. It seems like a very old distant lover now that we have to sort of go and see every year and hope that we can rekindle.
Yeah.
So you were 4 when you were in London. You saw a musical that you decided, okay, this is the life for me. That idea of sort of having such an early kind of passion, it's kind of rare. I don't know whether you yourself were sort of surprised that you kind of knew from that age that this is what you wanted to do.
It kind of just all came naturally to me. Like, we'd have a very like people would be singing around our house and everything. My mom and stuff would be singing around the house. And
your mom's going to sing for us now, isn't she? Just well, I thought a duet would be great for it.
So I think music had been a part of the house, and parents when I was younger would play albums and stuff like that and introduce me to music, but it was always just at my own draw for it all, and I really just, yeah, it was what I loved.
Super confident. I don't know whether that's like part of the act or whether you get very nervous, because certainly with the Late the toy show, and then in The Whale and all that, you just seem so natural and so easy when you got up there. Is it an act, or are you nervous inside with these things?
Absolutely, yeah, I would be nervous, but I think it's about channeling that and turning it into excitement, because it's the same feeling, you know.
It's an energy thing as well, it certainly drives you. Now we should say with the Junior Eurovision, Ireland have had 5, since 2015, entered 5 times. The highest we got was the 10th place with Young Donnelly. It is a kind of, you know, we're doing okay, but it hasn't been our baby yet. I'm sure you've obviously got this kind of burning desire to knock this one out of the park, because it would be great for Ireland to if we've lost the other Eurovision, it'd be nice to claim another one.
Oh yeah, yeah, it'd be fantastic. Yeah.
So how do you choose your song then? How do you? I don't know whether there's a strict kind of any kind of strict rules from TG Caja or anyone else that there's certain songs or certain types of songs or.
Well, for the semi-final now, which will be on Sunday, I was assigned a song, and I'm going to be singing "Grace" by Lewis Capaldi.
Ah, okay, very good.
Yes.
So the songs are given, so you kind of it's their test to see if you can perform these.
Yes.
Ah, okay, yeah. That's interesting. And will that go all the way through now? You've got 2 more, we'll say, competitions before, hopefully, December 19th in Paris, you'll be representing Ireland. Would it be the case all the way along that they choose the song, or would you get to choose the song for Paris if you get through? Do you know?
I'm not sure now.
Okay, because I have a lot of heavy metal records, I'm sure we could find something that really suits the voice. So now that we're coming out of lockdown, and there's a slow sort of beginning to feel like it's the old ways that we can go out and enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about or talk about with your parents about what you'd like to do now that you're kind of getting into your teenage years, and you'll get to a point soon enough where you could go and sort of join a show or I mean, are there certain plans you have or certain hopes?
No, I think I'm kind of just taking everything in my stride as it comes at the right time, and take it slow, you know, and just keep plowing away at what I love doing.
We should say too that in that world of musicals, and it's crossed over hugely into the mainstream, and obviously things like Mamma Mia, but even, you know, Cats and all that, there's been a huge amount of movie adaptations, and then La La Land suggests there's a hipness to it. But then you have people like Hugh Jackman too, who kind of, you know, managed to do everything. They managed to sort of be in the X-Men, but also one of the great musical kind of performers. Would you have desires to sort of take yourself into all those other areas, or would you like to just be...
No, 100%. Yeah, I love actually creating like short films with my pals and stuff.
Right.
And I have a great love for like cinema and photography, cinematography, and like screenwriting and stuff like that. Like when I was in primary school, I remember we put on a little show or whatever. But I have a huge interest in that.
And would you? I don't know if you've dared to put your short films up on YouTube yet, or whether you're still working on them.
No,
or...
they're still in the planning phase.
And we should. I should know from the last interview. You look about 19 now, but you're what age would you be now?
I'm 14 now.
14. So it's still sort of, you know, I won't say you're a kid, but you're certainly in those early days of. So it seems, I'm sure, to you, anything's possible and everything's possible and.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good man. Now we just want to embarrass your mom before we go. I just want to say thanks a million for bringing us here today. That was very sweet.